What is going on, guys? Today we have got Clarence Seedorf. He is the 85 CM and he looks an absolute tank in this game. There is only one chemistry star which we've managed to get for his lengthy attribute, which is absolutely perfect. That is, of course, going to be the Architect. A 4-star, high work rate, 5'9" right-footed. We've got no traits. Stat-wise, it may not look the greatest, but definitely in-game, I've seen this guy play. He is a lot better than what they suggest. Architect will give you 91 passing, 92 physical. Already got a lot of dribbling. I think agility balance is okay for him, but I think it will be better than what he does suggest. Pace would have been a nice one to get, and maybe, just maybe, if he could have been lengthy with a shadow, this card really could have seen some top end. It took his pace to 91 and his defender to 78, but the lengthy is going to be the key important stat right here. So let's jump into him and show you Seedorf's ability. Right then, let's give him a go then. I have always liked Seedorf. He's normally very top end on the game. Pace is normally pretty good. Defending's fantastic. His tackling and strength is just brilliant. And he's normally in position, which is always perfect. As well as then having that lengthy meta on top. You just can't buy that sometimes. Knocking it out into Seedorf. The big man is going for the run as well. Can we find him through? It's going to be a tough battle. Obviously, going forward is not going to be the main attribute for Seedorf. I want him completely box-to-box orientated, or even to some point more defensive than attacking, especially depending on your team. You want him to be definitely running that show in the middle. His passing, especially with the Architect, is going to be very top end. Maybe not the rest of his team, but in terms of defending, you kind of just want him in the way. He's not necessarily got the greatest defending record or stats, but what he can offer you is just a body in that middle, as well as then somebody to pass it out, give you that kind of almost playmaker from a box-to-box position. Seedorf, doesn't get that intercept. Gonna hit the lengthy to put the body in the way. Like I said, interceptions, just putting himself in between him and the attacker is going to be massive. We see him running through a little bit there. Don't really want him. We want him there. As attacking goes, this is the position we want, as he can just filter through, give the shots to Ginola, to Eusebio, Pele, whoever's in your up front. That is going to be the perfect role for him. He's going to be passed through a lot. I find that with a lot of mids. You want to drag him back yourself, let the defenders kind of do their job. Sit him here. Just absolutely sit him there. Watch these options. Come if you think you can get it. And then once you get to the end, switch to him. Haaland, again, like I say, I'm not the greatest defender, but with midfielders, you don't want to push them so far up if you only have, say, 2 midfielders, maybe even 1 defensive, 1 attacking. You want to make sure that guy is sitting comfortable where you want him to be. He's going to run back. This is where the lengthy meta will always come into practice. Gives Militao the ability to kind of roam around a little bit, and then you want to be pouncing on them there. Pouncing, not prancing. That's a different way. Defensive juice is so rapid. To say he only has 82 pace on that base, there's no way. He plays like he's got at least 86 plus without no chemistry style. Obviously, that is where the accelerate in the new gen really works for him. Seedorf again. What can we find with him? A little pass out wide. Nothing too complicated. Keep it nice and simple at times, especially when you're going against somebody who can either defend his jockeying very well. You don't want to be going over the top all the time and going for these complicated balls. Nice and simple sometimes is the best way. Seedorf on the track back. Beautiful. Gives you that almost 5 at the back vibes, especially if you have somebody who is not necessarily massively attacking focused. It's nice just to have that somebody extra in that box. Can we find him here? Oh, it's Pele. I thought Seedorf was running with us. And again, that duty is perfect. Sets himself up nicely. It's going to stick with a little bit of Haaland, as we know that is definitely the player he's looking for. And we get the tackle off. Nice. And that's all she wrote. And we go again. Seedorf as well with his mid does get lengthy with the ankle, which again is going to be absolutely massive. Oh, that's poor. If you are knowing anything about the new gen, any accelerate to make him lengthy, that is always a perfect one. Especially if you want somebody without necessarily the most amount of defending, then you definitely want something like an anchor. It gives you the pace, defending, and physical. So we definitely will have to try that card out. But so far, I think for the Seedorf now, very nice card. Can we get that through ball if we can? That's what I said about keeping it nice and clean. Don't want to give the ball away too much. Luckily, he's offside, but he's doing an absolute spot-on job. I don't think there's really a bad kind of point so far from him. I think everything is working well as soon as I start passing right. I think the only thing, like I say, you could ask for a little bit more is that defensive stat could just be that slight bit better, which would make this card tenfold. Seeing it out with Seedorf, shifts the play, looking for the Ginola ball over the top if he can. It's a solid ball. If we've got somebody to get there, Ginola was very, very close. And a good interception. Little 1-2 with Pele if we can. Finds him there, goes across, pings it onto his left. He tries a looping shot and just far from the post. Seedorf, doesn't get the physical battle. I think for 290 though, you got yourself an absolute steal of a player here. Definitely from the kind of icons I've used, and the price ranges vary from 70k to 3, 4, 5 mil. Definitely a very, very top end one for the price that you're getting. I think if you're looking at like 100, 200k, maybe even 300, I'd expect a good amount of stats. I'd expect something from him, and definitely he is giving me that right now. Seedorf's going to see this attack. A little bit of a run if we can. Blitzes past somebody. It's a good tackle. Back into him. One more to Ginola. Tries to find it past Ramos if we could. Seedorf in the middle. It's got to be. Oh, what a save. Unbelievable. We had the moment. The momentum of him running forward was there. So going into the overall for Seedorf then. So he's coming in at a whopping just shy of 300 practically. I can imagine, like most icons, to be fair, he's kind of held his price. 366 being the highest, which, to be honest, doesn't look right at all. I think EA need to investigate that one. But everything else looks pretty solid. He's coming in lowest at 269. So he's kind of chilling around about his line. So it seems like only the real top end market have had a massive crash of at least 2 to 300k, depending on the value of the card. In terms of Seedorf, I think absolutely brilliant. If you are comparing him to his mid, I think his mid, as the price does reflect, is way better, mainly for that anchor. The anchor with lengthy, still got the shooting, still got great passing. Physicals obviously go up as well. I think his dribbling's absolutely fine, as we don't upgrade that anything with his base anyway. So getting the defending, even if it is just that slight amount, is going to be absolutely massive for the card, as well as a little bit more on that pace, is always going to be brilliant. With this version, you can still get him lengthy, which is still very meta in the game. He's already got decent-ish pace. The defending is probably the poor side of him. Like I say, with him, he's 5'9". He's got a big old unit in him, 99 strength. Put him in front of the ball. He is not necessarily going to be the Conte-esque player. He's not going to be that defensive mid that is going to win everything back. But you put him in the way, you get him involved, he's going to be able to do stuff. As well as then trying to catch anybody, his lengthy attribute does work really, really well. We did see him pushing forward quite well, which is always good. And just being almost that little playmaker that really works to get them passes down the wing, straight through to the strikers, there to be used as the 1-2. It works really well. As then as having the ability for a long shot is always going to be beneficial. Unfortunately, no traits on him. Again, there's not really one that I'd say is worth having for him, unless you maybe gone for an outside of the foot, maybe just from long range. Travellas are always good like that. Other than that, there's very little that you can do with any sort of traits. There's not really, unless team player does do something massive that you just don't know about. But in general, I think this guy's coming in very, very nice. There is definitely players that can do what he does as well for a much cheaper price. But in terms of icons, he's one of the better ones that we've seen. If we go if I go actual centre mid, and we look at price, if I'm looking at his sort of range at about 300, Thiago's quite nice, but he is explosive. Zanetti's more DM. Gerrard's not a bad one, to be honest. Again, very similar in terms of all of the stats, really. It's incredible how much that is the same. If we go a bit further down, Valverde is obviously fantastic. That is an SBC, though. We have Paqueta, who's more of a cam. Tuchemeni is very good. Sissoko is another great one with the lengthy attribute. So you could poke holes in everything. In every price, there's always somebody cheaper. There's always somebody who has better stats, better this, better that. But Seedorf is a very, very fantastic card. Would absolutely love him in the team. He's definitely one that would actually start in the team as well. He'd probably take out one of my centre mids, and I think he's definitely worth a look in. So let me know down below if you have used him, want him. Did you get him in your max 86 icon, I think it was? Let me know down below. Make sure you do like and subscribe if you are still here. Check out the videos on the left, and I'll catch you all for the next one. Peace.